everyone, I am Kara Dixon, and today I am joined with Rocky Holcomb here at Mount Trashmore. Now, Rocky, can you tell us what you are running for?
My name is Rocky, and I'm running for the House of Delegates for the 85th District, which is right here in the Mount Trashmore, Pembroke, Kempsville, Larkspur, Sherry Park, College Park area of Virginia Beach.
All right, and we can take a walk if you want to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
So, who are you? Like, describe who Rocky is.
Well, Rocky is a father, Rocky is a husband, Rocky is a public servant, a lifelong public servant. I'm a community leader. I'm a blue-collar guy in a blue-collar district, and I'm working hard to represent the folks of this district. And I understand the issues that the folks in this district have. I struggled raising 2 children and my wife, and I've got 2 kids now that are in college that I'm doing the best we can to pay for that. So I understand the issues we face at the kitchen table and at the front porch. This is something I like to do. This is something I enjoy doing. It's coming out here to Mount Trashmore and working out, whether it's running up the hill, down the hill, or around the track. This is a great exercise. This is awesome.
This is the only running I'm doing for the rest of the year.
It gets a lot steeper. To the top.
Da, na, na.
Let's get to the top.
Na, na, na.
Now, look at the reward. Look at the reward. Look at that.
Yeah, okay.
It's beautiful.
I think we can say that he's in shape. And I'm not in shape.
It's a great view. It's a great district. And I look forward to representing the people of this district once again.
Yeah, what he said. I'm so tired. Woo! We're going to have to roll back down the hill. Because... All right, so we got some questions for you.
All right, we're ready. Bring them on.
What do you think is the biggest issue facing the Commonwealth?
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of issues facing us here in the Commonwealth, and I think the issues are they meet you where you're at. In other words, the single parent might have issues that the business person might not have, and I think that there are many folks with many different issues at different levels. But I think the number one issue we face here in the Commonwealth moving forward is we have to continue to create good jobs, good paying jobs, so that our citizens can stay here and we can grow our economy. And as we grow our economy, I think a lot of problems are solved up and down the scale as people have good jobs and they have good availability to jobs. I think it solves a lot of problems. So growing the economy.
All right, and what are you hoping to get done if elected?
Having served in the General Assembly before, I left some stuff on the table that I want to go and finish. And I have many policies that I want to work on. But let me tell you, first and foremost, the number one thing that I want to do is I want to bring civility and compassion back to the office of an elected official. Right now, I feel like the elected officials are really getting a bad rap, and some rightfully so, for their behaviors and their activities. We have to understand that when you serve the people, you have to have decency, and you have to have humility, and you have to talk to folks, and you got to sit down at the table and hear other folks' views and how they see the world before you can make any advancement. You can't belittle people, and you can't disrespect people, and that's the number one thing I want to bring to the office, is a sense of civility.
All right, and what can Virginians do to improve the Commonwealth themselves? I know you guys are going to be doing your own legislative thing, but what can Virginians personally do? Virginians
can do exactly what I do, what I've taught my kids to do, what I teach other members of the community to do. All politics is local, and all of this starts in our home and in our neighborhood. I talk to folks now that you walk up and down the road, they don't even know their neighbor's name. To fix the problems we have, you got to first get to know your neighbor and understand your neighbor, and then it grows, and you get involved in a PTA or a civic league group, and you talk about those issues, and we learn to take care of each other, and we learn that your neighbor might not need a hand out, but needs a hand up, and you're certainly there to help them. And I think that's the important stuff that we do to help the Commonwealth.
All right, now some personal questions.
Okay.
If you could meet anyone in history, who would it be?
Yeah, I would say Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln led this nation through one of the most difficult times ever, and he led it with a lot of opposition, but he led with integrity, and he led with courage, and he was able to make the right decision. And despite what anybody may have said, he led the country right. And I think that if you look back at Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, I'd certainly like to sit down and have this conversation with him.
When you were a kid growing up, what did you think you would end up being? Or what did you want to be?
Well, when I grew up, I wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, a psychiatrist. I wanted to be a preacher. I wanted to be a superhero. I wanted to be a fireman. I wanted to be a policeman. So what I did in 1991 is I swore in as a deputy sheriff, and I got to be all of them. So as a deputy sheriff, I get to do all of those things. I get to go through the community, and I get to help people in a way that that you can't put a price on. So I'm exactly where I wanted to be when I was a kid. After 28 years in law enforcement, I'm right where I wanted to be.
All right, and last question, what's your favorite home cooked meal?
Well, it depends on whose home I'm in. Now, if I'm in my grandmother's home, and rest Granny's soul, Granny made the very best chicken and dumplings that I've ever eaten. And I've never been able to find that taste again since Granny passed. They were so good, the chicken and dumplings were so good, it would make a Hokie hug a Cavalier during football season. That's how good they were. And my mom makes a good piece of meatloaf, so I'll never pass up on that. But the thing about the home cooked meal for me growing up and now is it's not so much about what's on the table, but who's at the table. And I always try to make our dinner tables inclusive to whoever wants to come and eat and fellowship and break bread and get to hear other people's stories and how we can help them out in the community and how they can help us out in the community. So it's less about what's on the table and more about who's at the table.
All right. Well, thank you, Rocky, for joining us today. You're, again, running for the 85th House District.
Yep.
And if you want to learn more about him, we have his candidate profile over on WAVY.com.
Yep, RockyHolcomb.com. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
I'm going to go take a nap.